Hey everyone, welcome back to Rake Take Stacking. In today's video, I want to go through some reasons why you should be stacking gold and silver. But before I do that, I just want to talk a little bit about this display here. I have not been picking up as many of these Canadian silver dollars as I would like. But just recently this week, I have gone back onto eBay and I started picking up some more. I have 4 that are on the way. I picked up 3 more of the 1964 Charlottetown ones. I don't have any here to show you there, but I'm currently bidding again on one of these totems there. If you've been following my channel for any amount of time, you know that's my second favorite design. But I've been off eBay for a bit because they happen to just get rid of their eBay Bucks program. I used to love going on there and picking up junk silver and earning the eBay Bucks, and then after 3 months turn it around and using that certificate to pick up some bullion. But for whatever reason, eBay isn't doing it, and I haven't been looking on there as often as I have or should be. But it does seem like the silver dollars, the Canadian silver dollars, are back to being a good deal on there. And you know, it's a bit of kick in the pants that you're not getting the eBay Bucks with it. But I want to pick up the Canadian silver dollars anyways. The eBay Bucks were just a nice little bonus. But yes, I'm now going to be back into looking for some deals on those Canadian silver dollars. But anyways, getting into today's video, I did find this article going over 7 different reasons why you should be investing in gold and silver. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to jump over to the computer and go through the article. Okay, so this is the article here. It's on Gainesville Coins, and it says 7 benefits of investing in precious metals. Number 1 is low barrier to entry, especially silver. When you're looking at 1 ounce pieces, you can see what the spot price is and everything like that. And some people, just like with Bitcoin, some people look at Bitcoin and say, oh, I can't get into Bitcoin because it's up at like 30, 40,000. I wish I got in it earlier. Not a lot of them know that you can just, buy fractional. You don't have to buy 1 full Bitcoin. It's kind of the same thing with the 1 full ounce of gold. You look at a spot price of gold and see that it's quite expensive, but not a lot of people know. Stackers, obviously, if you've been doing it for a while, you do know that there is fractional gold. But it's a lot of those people that are, as I said, like with the Bitcoin, a lot of people might think that they just have to shell out for the 1 ounce of gold. That's not the case. You know what I mean? If you're just getting into stacking and you don't know that you can get the fractional sizes. Unfortunately, the lower you go with gold, the higher the premiums are going to be. So you can get all the way down to a gram. But as I said, the lower you go, the higher the premiums are. So you might just want to look at what your sweet spot is. If you say, hey, I'd like to pick up some gold and the 1/4 ounce looks like the perfect size for me, or the 1/10 ounce. But yes, there are plenty of lower entry points than that 1 ounce gold mark that you can get in. So yes, I agree with number 1 there. That is a low barrier for entry. And number 2, obviously we hear this a lot, and it's one of the main reasons why I stack, is as a hedge against inflation. It says, as the dollar and other fiat currencies weaken in value, the value of gold and silver is marching to the beat of its own drum. And this can be good because when the dollar stutters, precious metals typically soar. So yes, that's been talked to death, and again, I've been doing it quite a bit on this channel too, but it has been in the news a lot. Everyone's talking about inflation. More and more people are mentioning and talking about inflation. It's starting to get more press, and people are starting to get worried about the inflation and things like that. So stacking is obviously a good way to hedge against that. Number 3, tangible asset. This goes by that old adage of if you don't hold it, you don't own it. So for me, I don't personally have any, stocks, ETFs, paper side of it. I do try to follow it a little bit, just like when I see videos talking about technical analysis and things like that, because that side of the stuff does, it does affect spot price and move spot price as well. So it is kind of good to just have a little bit of an idea of what's going on there, just to stay in the loop, because it does affect spot price, and spot price is something that I pay attention to all the time. So it's good to try and see what's going on that side, even though I'm not personally buying or investing in the paper side. I do try and get as much knowledge or education on the technical side of it as I can. And that's another thing when you talk about selling your stack, if you have a goal in mind and everything like that, it doesn't really make sense to be stacking for decades and then just to cash it in for a pile full of fiat currency. You know what I mean? That's what you've been stacking against this whole time. So trading in your stack, the tangible asset of physical silver and gold, a good idea would be to trade it in at a certain time to get another tangible asset like property and things like that. So, if I'm not going to be passing it down to my kids and grandkids, and I do want to, spend a little down the road to, pay off a mortgage or pick up a cabin or a cottage or something like that, that's how I would sell the stack, the tangible assets. I wouldn't just convert it back into fiat. I'd look to be converting it into another tangible asset. Highly liquid, we all know that. There are local coin shops all over the places. You can just go into a small town, you'll probably find one. And also, just with the internet, you don't just have to go to Gus down the street. Obviously, I'm not saying that's a bad choice or a bad decision. But there is you got your Facebooks. I'm not on Facebook, but you got Facebook, you got your YouTube, Instagram, Reddit. There's plenty of auctions going on there. There's plenty of people selling, and the community is very welcoming. So obviously you got to be careful. There's people in any type of community, anybody trying to make a quick buck or get one over on somebody. But for the most part, everyone that I've met in the silver stacking community has been great and looking out for each other. So the precious metals, especially now, like I'm saying, with the internet and all the selling going on there, it's very highly liquid. I don't think you'd have a hard time looking to get rid of your gold and silver in this day and age. Number 5 says timeless investments. It says think about some of the investments that people drop big bucks on today, but weren't around 50 years ago or 40 years ago or even 20 years ago. Thinking like cryptos and NFTs. It says then consider gold and silver, two precious metals that mankind has treasured for at least 5,000 years. Some investments may disappear with the next cyber attack, but gold and silver aren't going anywhere. So yes, the track record of gold and silver is a good peace of mind for people looking to get into it. So cryptos are a little bit more stable, you know what I mean? The NFTs, those just seem like a joke, and you know what I mean? I don't know how anybody is throwing their money into some of these NFTs, but with cryptos it makes sense, especially with Bitcoin if you want to look at it, where it's only 21 million will ever be made, and some of the other cryptocurrencies are already well past 21 million. And they really don't have anything physical to tie it to, so I don't really know what would be stopping them from making more Ethereum or making more Litecoin. Like with Bitcoin, you got to do all that mining and stuff, and it is said to be capped at 21. So you do know that finite thing. You're not just going to be flooding the market with billions of Bitcoin. It's only at 21. Where with the other ones, the other cryptocurrencies, it does seem like you can just create it out of nowhere, almost like fiat currency. So some of the cryptos I'm a little bit weary of. I'm not too big into cryptos. I do have some Ethereum, some Bitcoin, and some Litecoin. Those are the only 3 that I have. Number 6 is portfolio diversification. That's not something I'm worried about too much at this moment because I don't really have much of a portfolio to speak of. Silver and gold right now, I guess you would say, is the start of my portfolio. And then the further in that I go, I might start branching off a little bit and looking at picking up some stocks. You know what I mean? Some mining stocks I'm looking at, especially just looking at things that will be needed in the future. I have seen some good things talking about like uranium for the green energy and the nuclear power or just picking up index funds, just something you can get like a little bit of a dividend in there or something like that. Just something with some passive income, stuff like that. But at the moment, I don't really have really any portfolio to speak of. But if you have been, in the stock market for quite a while, or you have some real estate, or you have a big portfolio to begin with, then, gold and silver might be another good thing to have in there just to, diversify a little bit more. You know what I mean? You don't want to have all your eggs in one basket. And then number 7, of course, is the safe haven. Gold and silver have each earned the status of safe haven investments. Safe haven means that these metals provide stability during times of economic stress. Even in bad economy, gold prices hold their value and tend to rise. So that's pretty self-explanatory. With it being a safe haven, people want to, put their money in, something that will be less affected by a turbulent economic time, which is something that's been going on, quite a while here with all the stuff that's been happening in the past, past year and a bit. So we've all know what's been going on. So those are the 7 reasons. That's the video I want to make. I will leave a link in the description if you want to go further into this article, because it will go over some things, some stuff that I've talked about already, talking about how to invest. You can pick up with coins. Obviously, you can pick up rounds from different independent mints. You can get bars, same thing, from either sovereign mints or private mints. But yes, that's the article that I wanted to show, and like I just said, I will leave a link in the description if you would like to read through it again. But that was the article that I wanted to talk about. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to read through it, because I didn't read through most of it. I kind of just skimmed it and talked over it a little bit, or talked over some of the examples that they gave. But let me know in the comments what you think, especially if you are one of the people, I know there's not too many out there, but if you are a stacker and you also play the markets, if you actually pick up some paper silver and stuff like that, I'd like to hear from you. I keep saying that Juice was one of the best channels that did the market analysis, and he hasn't been posting in a while. So as I said, hopefully everything's well with him. But I've been missing the market analysis that he usually gives. And like I mentioned when I was reading through the article there, I don't personally invest in any paper silver or ETFs or things like that. But I did like just learning and picking things up. And I'd like to hear from you down below if you do pick up ETFs and stuff like that, and just how you enjoy it, and just how much of it you pick up compared to physical. Percentage wise, what do you think you have more of, the physical or the paper? But yeah, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you come back for the next one. Thank you.